Good afternoon, all you wild and weird radio fans and everyone else. This is show number 10 and welcome to it. This is it's a big deal for us. It's our 10th live show, and each one of these things keeps getting a little bit better every time. And tonight, boy, we have some really cool stuff planned, right? Right, Brandon?
Oh yeah, definitely.
With me is Mr. Brandon Wills, writer of strange tales and epic future horror works. Right? Isn't that it? Yeah,
That's one way to put it.
that's one way to put it. Anyway, everyone, get checked in, and we're gonna wait and get a couple more people in here. And before we get started, I'm going to go over to the room and do the normal welcome for everyone. We have Emily Anderson. Welcome aboard, Emily. We have Ike Faber. Greetings, Ike. Greetings. We have Dewey. There's the Dewster. Cryptids and Critters Paranormal. Greetings, my friend. Teresa has made it into the house. Welcome, Teresa. Chris Coots. Welcome, sir. Good to see you here. Spooky Appalachia is haunting us as always. James Boggs. Howdy, howdy, howdy indeed. Fish Ballet, welcome. Hello, hello. And Patrick Noble, greetings, my friend. There's a few more of you that haven't got in here yet. We're waiting on a couple more of our regulars to pop in. Uh, just go ahead in the meantime, before we get started, share that out, share the live feed out, and let's pack the house. We have, like I said, some really cool stuff to go over tonight. We have a pretty odd, I wouldn't say odd, but we have a varied topic list tonight, don't we? We had some news, and we're going to address that, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming show that you'll see tomorrow on the regular podcast, and maybe pre-shadow a little bit into the future show that we'll actually be doing, recording Sunday, I believe, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And then someone in the audience is going to help us, or maybe a few of you, someone's is going to help us with a interesting experiment that we actually conducted. Was it, when do we record the show this week? It was Tuesday because we had the delay, right? Yeah, it was Tuesday. So on Tuesday, we recorded an episode, and during which we did an Ovilus session. And fans of the show know we like to play with the Ovilus. So we brought the Ovilus out, and it started saying these weird things on absolutely no prompt whatsoever. So we had this bright idea, and I was like, well, let's see if we can do a time travel kind of thing with it, and see if we can get maybe someone from tonight to send their question into the past. So we're going to be doing a retrocognition kind of test. It'll be kind of fun just to play around with. I just want to see if how it works out and how the synchronicity works. Greetings, Facebook user. Still no Joe? No, we believe Joe's at work, or he has been kidnapped by the Men in Black. We're not sure which one, but it's one of those
We
two.
tried that once.
Yeah, pretty sure they did. They actually tried that once. Um, and everyone who is listening to us on Facebook, please do remember to give the app your permission to post your name. It will post your name so we can see your name and give you credit, which works great. And there's Adam Good. Adam, I believe that may have been Adam. Actually, I'm not sure. Okay, let's see.
We'll post a
Uh,
comment in the Facebook feed so you guys know how to do it.
Yeah, go ahead and do
The
that.
link you got to click on.
Yeah, so that they'll know exactly what's up. I'm going to do one more thing here, and we're going to get this show off and running here. Just got to open this up.
I think you only have to
And
do it once to give StreamYard permission to.
yeah, I think that's all you do, and it'll do it. It'll do it for you from that point, I believe. All right. I wanted to send the link over to our resident skeptic friend in hope that he can come in. This will be a really good show. Everybody, if you have any questions tonight, of course, just stop us and ask. But we are going to be talking about some different things.
If Joe were here, he'd be our skeptic.
Yeah, right. I
You
think
guys
we
will
need.
find out why on this week's podcast episode.
Yes. I think we need Angry Sky Daddy Matthew McConaughey to kick Joe in the butt a little. Yeah, I think you might be right about that. It's a possibility. Yeah,
He's probably angrily making chicken pasta right
I
now.
would say so too. Have you ever
Salad.
seen him make food angrily before? It's really quite hilarious. I've actually got to see that before. It's pretty funny. Pretty funny. And yeah, like Dewey said, everybody smash the like button and subscribe. Now, for a really, really quick update for you guys, you've done such a wonderful and fantastic job. We are still moving up, of course, in the in our little rankings there on YouTube, and it's wonderful to see. We have been getting a lot of people asking questions and posting comments, and everybody is very happy, which means we must be doing something right. Jennifer, when is the next Bigfoot class? See, this is like retrocognition, right, Brandon? I mean, we addressed this in tomorrow's episode, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, that will be actually addressed in tomorrow's episode. Hopefully soon. That's going to be all I can say for right now. We're still trying to work on nailing down a date on that. Okay, so anyway, Brandon, we had some weird news this week. A little bit weirder than normal. Something about a potential mothership or something
popping up all over the place.
Yeah, I remember when I first saw it, I was just like, okay, I mean, how it usually works, guys, is we got a few people who will send us links to some articles that are breaking news and whatnot, and we scour stuff too. But typically, what happens is we don't act on it unless we get multiple validations of this kind of stuff, and if it seems too weird, we literally just sit on it until that happens. Well, this time we sat on it for about a day, and then the next day it was everywhere, and it was real. This was actually a real headline, which just, I mean, I don't know that I would have ever really imagined when this whole thing started in 2017, when the whole disclosure wall started melting in 2017, that we would sit and be talking about a paper that literally is written by the head of Arrow, the new guys who are doing the whole UAP thing, right? In which Avi Loeb and this gentleman have co-authored the paper, and it literally outlines the prospect that a mothership could have come into or be in our solar system, dropping off probes. You can't make this up anymore. It just gets weirder and weirder. You thought 2020 was weird, but it just kept getting weirder after 2020. I mean, this is just welcome to the age of sci-fi.
For sci reality.
Right. Exactly. So that's kind of odd. And, I looked at that and I thought the story was weird because, not too long ago, it was just like a week or so ago, I noticed that there was a article released that brought a Muamua back into the news again. And it was one of those debunking ones, Muamua was just a comet. It has normal outgassing. That's the whole story, right? Well, I kept digging into that. I'm like, well, wait a second. This seems so familiar to me. And it seemed completely familiar because it sort of happened before, right, Brandon?
Yeah, they've been trying to debunk that thing since it first pops up in the news. It's been
Right.
like, what, 3 years now, and people are still trying to?
they've tried multiple times, but the last big time that they did it was when Avi released his book. And as soon as he released that book, just a few months later, it was in March actually, when you know, he released the book in January, and in March, these scientists came forward and said, "Oh, it was just a misidentified comet of some sort." And this was in, I think, 2021. I think is when that happened the first time. But the more interesting part of this is now is this little section right here. So, in a new paper with students, Amir Siraj, we've identified a second interstellar meteor, IM2, in the CNOS Fireball catalog of NASA. Now, it's important. It was in a NASA catalog. Two interstellar meteors are meter scale objects that collided with the Earth from a trajectory that was gravitationally unbound to the sun. Now, what that means basically is that whatever this thing was that crashed into the Pacific, because that's the whole premise of this. There's a, Avi got his funding to go and get this meteor or potential probe or who knows what off the bottom of the Pacific, and in this paper they're identifying why they think it's not just an ordinary meteor. It was unbound, so it didn't come from the normal meteor streams, basically, is what they're saying. So, i.e., probably another interstellar visitor, kind of like Oumuamua, except for a lot smaller. And in other words, the object arrived to the solar system from interstellar space. Were moving faster than escape speed from the sun when they were collected by the fishing net of Earth's atmosphere. Yeah. So these there's two of them, Brandon. That's the interesting part of this. And he's going after the one we know of. But here's the paper. This was Professor Avi Loeb and the All Domain Resolution Office Director Sean Kirkpatrick. They're the ones who are authoring the paper, purporting that an alien mothership may be sending probes through the solar system. Now, how they're getting that, Brandon was just abducted by one. How they're getting that is because of the meteor that was seen, that has been recorded, actually, that did crash in the Pacific that he is now going after. What happened there, Brandon? You disappeared.
Beats me.
But it was discovered in 2019. It was confirmed at a 99.999% confidence level by a letter from U.S. Space Command to NASA. The second interstellar meteor we just discovered, CNOS 2017-0309. I love these names. IM2 was 10 times more massive and roughly a meter in size. Now, remarkably, both IM1 and IM2 disintegrated low in Earth's atmosphere, and despite the unusually high speeds. The tantalizing conclusion about the extremely rare material strength. This is how they can tell, that these were important. We were speculating about that when we were recording the last show. It implies that this interstellar meteor are not rocks from planetary systems like the solar system. So they're not rocky. They're not an irony, normal kind of iron. So what are they?
So they're not made of the two things that usually meteors are made of.
Right. That's kind of what we're getting at. And so in the September 22nd debrief, it was possible that IM1, IM2 move fast, are tough because they're artificial in origin, namely chemically propelled interstellar spacecraft like our own interstellar probes, but launched a billion years ago, ancient aliens. One can also imagine a mothercraft carrying CubeSats or micro devices in its belly, which, like dandelion seeds, automatically get released through friction with the atmosphere.
So I get what they're suggesting.
You see what they're saying, right?
Yeah, they're suggesting these little weird plasma blobs in the sky are actually
That's exactly what they're
Minecraft.
suggesting. That's exactly what they're suggesting. So this was from September 22nd. That's when they made this first announcement that you're scrolling right here below. I'm showing this because it's kind of important. I'm building up to something. Now, March 23, 2023, Loeb's now preparing for Galileo Project, $1.5 million expedition to recover another interstellar object from the Pacific Ocean, one of these that we just talked about. Okay, that's March 23rd. They just announced this. That was the big news. Oumuamua IM2 was an oddity, sailed past Earth in 2017. IM2 was a bizarre looking meteor that hit the planet just 6 months earlier. That's what they're after. So basically, what we're saying, or what they're saying, is that Oumuamua, this comet, apparently, according to recent papers, just happened to be in the vicinity when this other thing crashed into the Earth 6 months before. It's interesting. The coincidence between some orbital parameters of Oumuamua, IM2, inspires us to consider the possibility that read that again, an artificial interstellar object could potentially be a parent craft. And we call that what, Brandon?
A mothership.
A mothership.
It's interesting that in that article they didn't say the object crashing in the ocean could have just been a chunk of a Momo. They didn't even suggest that.
No, they did not. That's not even on the books. That there's no one's mentioning anything like that. So that's completely out. We're assuming. And now let's go back to 19th of October 2017 when Oumuamua was first detected. So it passes by the solar system. It's formally designated as 1I 2017 U1. It was discovered by Robert Work using the Pan-STARRS telescope at Haleakala. I used to be able to say that observatory in Hawaii on 19th.
Like Yala.
Yeah, October 2017, approximately 40 days after it passed its closest point to the sun. Now, that's important because it was literally discovered after it was leaving the Earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what made everyone kind of question this thing being just, well, if it's just a comet, how, why did it speed up when it left the Earth? Because that's what it showed that it did. So Avi said, well, he was the first one to come out with it and said, well, maybe Oumuamua was actually a probe of some sort, like it was, it was coming through and it did its mission and it went on past Earth. So he wrote a book, and that was a pretty popular book. Avi's book was published in January 26, 2021, and he was on every major media station talking about this. I know you guys remember it. It was, it was pretty historic, right? We talked about it multiple times. Okay.
It was on the CNN, or was it CNN who did that UFO special a couple years ago? I think he was on that.
He was on all of them, literally all of them. So this was in January 26, 2021. Well, the same year. This is the first one. March 17th, 2021. We've probably resolved the mystery of what Oumuamua is, and we can reasonably identify it as a chunk of an exo-Pluto, a Pluto-like planet in another solar system. Du Xia, the study co-author and an astrophysicist at ASU, said in a press release Monday. So they tried to explain it away literally months after he wrote his book. Okay. And then I'm swearing, guys, you can't make this up. You can't make this stuff up. It's either an incredible coincidence. Look, here it is. It's either an incredible coincidence or it's something more. And you guys can determine that for yourself. I mean, I don't know. I just think it's kind of interesting that now he's come out and he's saying that, he has evidence that this other thing may be dropping, Mothership may be dropping probes. And now, March 2023, a team of astronomers now investigating the first known visitor from another star system. This is another group of researchers, guys, concluded that its strange behavior was down to a very normal activity for a comet, the release of gas. Oumuamua, as it was later named, was noticed by astronomers, and we know the rest of this. I'm not even going to read that to you. But again, look, this is the second time now. And what's really laughable about this is it even says right there that it's
Mhm.
a normal outgassing. Do you not think that they looked at that the first time around? Did no one consider outgassing of a possible comet? I mean, they thought it was a comet, right?
Yeah, well, there's all kinds of astrophysicists who examined that when it first happened, and not a single one of them brought that up.
No, no, they did not. They absolutely did not. Let's get over here. I'm going to go back to the lines here and see what's going on. We have what? Joe's chicken shall always be dry now. Joe will make weepy salads with curdled dressings. God, Daddy Matthew McConaughey. She'll grin and laugh at Joe's gnashing of teeth and wailing children. That is a book in its own right. Thank you, Adam. NASA, not a yes, not a straight answer or not a single alien. Both work, James. Both absolutely work. And Adam, Interstellar and Contact both have, wait for it, Sky Daddy Matthew McConaughey. Hey, there's another synchronicity. Thank you, Adam. This is absolutely working out the way we thought it would. Oh, man. Let's see. What else do we have? And yeah, Avi is a nice dude. I agree, Adam. So, as for the news of what's going on with that mess, I mean, it's anyone's guess, really.
I mean, well, I'm gonna say obviously, but it's apparently a campaign to discredit him, just like they try to do to Elizondo twice now. They're still working on the
Oh
second
yeah,
one.
yeah. If anyone's not watching that mess, there's a huge. I won't call it an attack. That's a harsh word, but there's definitely a movement to that seems to be to stop some of this progress that we've been making. Let's just put it at that. The more of that, that we can verify, that we'll put it out there for you. But if you're watching it, you already know that it does seem like someone is trying to roll us back. They're trying to stuff some of the genies back into the bottle, so to speak. And I don't know that we can do that anymore. To be honest with you, I think we've moved a little beyond a little beyond that. I don't see that happening at this point. Do you?
It's like they're trying to throw boulders in front of a moving train, basically.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good analogy, man. That's a really good analogy. And I don't know. I mean, what do you guys out there think? Do you think that this whole mothership thing is, are they talking about a Muamua, or do they actually think that there's something else out there that's kind of getting ready to make itself known? Maybe. I don't
Well,
know.
if any of you guys pay attention to Skinwalker Ranch, they've had evidence for a long time that something's hovering above the ranch. And
You
it
just can't
appears with
see it.
laser beams, with radio signals, balloons they send up there, anything that goes up to like what 1,000 feet, all of a
Uh,
sudden just
yeah, it's
malfunctions.
somewhere around in there. Yeah, it's really crazy, and that starts soon. And it looks like there's some really good footage on those trailers this season too. Um, for those who do not know, I made it over to the paranormal discussion group last night, and it was a blast once again. Um, we're working to do something with those guys and pump them up a little bit. They're doing some great work over there. Angie Breeden is kind of heading up the whole thing, I think, and she is doing a fantastic job with trying to get people together, not just for any kind of research purpose or anything, but just to get people together and talking about stuff. And it's really cool to see. It's kind of like what we do here, except for they're doing it in a live place, Man, it's really cool to watch and cool to be a part of. So if you ever get a chance to go to any of those, definitely, you want to definitely go. They're at the St. Albans Historical Society there. What I'm trying to read as I'm talking, it's hard. And what do we got there, James? The government is seeing which bait John Q. Public is going to bite on today. Yeah, you cast a broad net. You're gonna you gotta eventually catch something, right? I mean that's the truth.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we talked about? Thank you, Teresa. That's what I wanted to know. That was the last Wednesday of the month at 6 p.m. and they're very punctual, by the way. Um, and it's weird because you usually end up there almost. Gosh, when do we leave? I mean, we usually leave right at the end. It's like 9 o'clock or something. I think.
I think the one time I went so far, it was like around 10 that we wrapped up everything.
Oh, geez, you guys were there long too. Yeah, I know Angie doesn't
Oh
like to
no, I
be
mean you
there
didn't realize you were
forever.
there that long.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun though. It's a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, I met a lot of interesting people. I met
Oh
Ike
gosh, yeah.
there.
Yeah, Ark's usually there, and I think Tony's going to be doing something on extra dimensional travel
Oh yeah, that'll
next
be a fun one.
next time. Yeah, 8 or 9 before. Yeah, I don't know what time it was we left last night. I know I was the last one out the door. I locked the door behind me. If it tells you anything, but had some really awesome discussions. The West Virginia Unseen was there, and we got to go over a little bit of data that they had, which is really fascinating data. I'm not going to talk about their data here, but we shared some stuff, and my goodness, it was impressive. And I'd like to get those guys on to actually talk about it, and we'll do that eventually because I think that they proved something. And now we need multiple validation, and that's going to be the next step. But it kind of proves to me that we're on the right track as far as what we had been saying with some of this phenomena being possibly related or using the same operations, basically, if that makes sense to you, the same kind of energy source or something like that.
Be cool to have a round table with them.
Oh gosh, yeah, absolutely.
Love having round tables.
Do they have hot dogs on those nights, Teresa? They actually don't, unfortunately.
Unless you want to pay for it, Adam.
Now, here's the thing that we're thinking about doing. I'm going to be I'll be there in July for the meeting in July, and I'll be, of course, talking about aliens, UFOs, the paranormal connection, probably, and a few other things. But we're wanting to do a special event in collaboration with them where we actually bring this on the road and everybody's there. We're going to broadcast it live. So it'll be a lot of fun. Um, it's going to be a really cool thing to do, I think, and very interactive. So we'll get not only questions from the group there, but we'll also have questions from people out there watching. Which should be a lot of fun. Should be a whole lot of fun.
Yep. And we're going to try to get the audience broadcasted live too, so everybody that's there will be
Yeah,
also part of the show.
yeah. They will actually appear at the bottom of the screen there. I figured out a way to make it work, so we just have to do it. We have to test it and make sure everything works. But I think we're good. And that way, the people who can't be there can still be there. So I know the last time that, for whatever reason, I mean, I thank you guys, but for whatever reason, I know the last time I did the thing I did in what was it? Withville? I think it was Withville when we did the presentation in Withville. People were like, "Well, are you gonna do it live?" I'm like, "Well, no. I mean, we can't. We don't. We don't have that facility, so we can't really run something like that. But I thought it'd be kind of cool to do that in this little facility because we can do it there. We know that we can do it there, so which is very cool. Um, this week, well, Tuesday, we recorded late because I got terribly sick on a normal recording day. That was on Sunday. I think I
Did
had
you have
some bad.
Havana syndrome?
I had no, I had bad brisket syndrome. Um, it was I'm pretty sure food poisoning from a mild case of food poisoning from eating
Ah, the Men in Black. Oh,
pecan.
sabotaging everything.
Yeah.
Flat Earthers, they were pissed off at
Oh man.
Giorgio.
At Giorgio. Yeah, that's what it was. It was the flat earthers. They were mad at Giorgio. But yeah, that was it was bad. So we had to record on Tuesday. And the subject this week was really cool. Let me
Yep.
find the banner. Go ahead and talk a little bit about it while I look for it there, Brandon.
So this week the subject was reincarnation. Is it possible? Does it happen? Is it not possible? We all try
And
to cover every angle of that, especially Joe.
I think we did cover every angle. I mean, I was very proud of this episode. I think we, I think we might have broke uh, uh, some uh, some brain cells in Joe there.
He might have ruptured a blood vessel like
He,
here and maybe
he
here.
may have, but yeah, but that's how you do these things. I mean, that's how it works. But yeah, it was a really good episode, and I'm very I think thorough. That's what I wanted to say. I think it was a
Yeah.
very thorough episode, and we covered it as best as we possibly could. Um,
There are so many reincarnation stories that you can find on the internet that sound convincing
yeah,
that we could probably do a 10-part series on just the stories alone. Like it's hard to say, it's hard to deny that something isn't going on.
yeah, man. I mean, the amount of data that we picked up there just for that episode, we had to actually skim back on it and I only focused on the kid aspect of it, the child aspect of it, because I think that's where you know, your real proof comes from. I mean, we can easily, say that we have a past life memory when we're older, and but we don't know if we didn't read that in a book or if we didn't, come across it some other way. But these kids, man, they're just learning how to talk, and all of a sudden they're telling you about their lives and what you know. So
I even shared a couple of stories, my own experiences
yep,
personally with that subject.
yep. There's actually some good stories in there from Brandon, and they're very interesting too. But yeah, it was a really cool episode, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. Um, So let's go over here and check comments. Guys, you got any questions? You got any comments? What do you feel? Let's ask that. Let's switch it up here. What do you think as far as the whole reincarnation thing goes? Do you think these are past lives? Do you think that these people are just, tapping into something? Let's hear it. We want to hear. There are no wrong answers.
Yeah, we proposed our own ideas. If it's not reincarnation, what else could it be?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Especially Joe. Also, if you tell Joe that you used to live in Atlantis, he's probably not going to believe you.
Yeah, he probably won't believe you, but he'll listen to you. Um, Teresa said, for anyone local, the Crystal Lotus shop in St. Albans is offering monthly past life regression workshops this
Oh,
spring and
really?
summer.
Oh,
Hey, there you go, Brandon.
wow.
Go figure it out, man. Go figure it out. Um, James, who knows? I have my beliefs. So there you go. I
Well,
mean,
tell us what's your beliefs. What
yeah,
you believe in.
there are no wrong answers. That's our whole point here. Is if you want to share, feel free. If not, that's cool. But that's what we did on the episode, and I think, like I said, I think we covered pretty much everything from parapsychology to spiritual beliefs to ancient wisdoms. I mean, it's out there. There's a lot of stuff going on as far as I'm concerned. But
And don't
we
forget
had,
hallucination.
oh yeah, Yeah, that's we could even go into that as far as that goes. People who've had any kind of like psychedelic trips that have basically uh, you know
Yep.
contacted their ancestors, so to speak, or something to that nature. I mean, I'm not ruling any of that out. By the way, just because that's how they perceived it. That's how it is. And Pat finally made it, so now the party can begin. Finally, you're late. Let's
You're
see,
late. You're late. You're very,
Teresa.
very late.
I think a lot of evidence people use as proof of reincarnation can be attributed to cryptomnesia. Yep, we covered that. But I think there's enough substantial data to show that there's something, there it is, worth looking into. That was our absolute, pretty much exactly what we said, almost verbatim what we said.
Those are the ones
And
I like to pick at. The stories that have little pieces of information that you can't get from TV or movies or
yeah, yeah,
TV
yeah.
shows, even.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like I said, on the case studies we did, we focused mainly on the children because I think you're going to get a little more credibility from someone who they shouldn't know words like that. So how are they even describing these things and then getting all these hits, so to speak? Um, and some of the hits are pretty astounding, by the way. If it shows that there's some kind of information transfer, and that's about all we can say. As far as what it is, that's up to you to decide, or believe, or whatever. But as far as the data is concerned, it shows there's an information transfer of some sort. uh, where it's coming from, that's anyone's guess. So
There actually is a difference between reincarnation and past lives. They're not exactly the same thing. They can be
you're right.
connected, but they're not always.
Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. Wait a sec, hold up.
But the Men in Black sent a ransom note for Joe.
Hmm.
You want 10 pounds of chicken salad?
No.
They want 10 pounds of the yellow slaw he makes?
Oh, the Indrid Coldslaw.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the name of it. Actually, that's
I forgot what it was called.
it's all good. Um, okay, no, I was just making sure we're good. Everybody can still hear us and whatnot. So yeah, we're good. And do I believe in reincarnation? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't. Like I said, I don't think that there's much evidence when you really look at it. There's something there.
I
You can
don't
call it.
think, I think all religions in some way reference reincarnation. They just word it a little different.
Yeah, right.
Because
It's all labels. I
the Bible,
remember.
in a way, says that everything happens in a cycle. And that's what the ancient Jews believed too. They believed everything worked in a cycle. And some people even think that there's been people who've even uh, referenced the Bible as saying that this isn't the first time Earth has existed or the universe has existed, according to
No,
the
that's
Bible.
right.
So
Yeah,
who knows? Maybe we've lived this life 20 times before, or infinitely lived this life.
man. If that's the case, then spoilers. Anyone? Adam Good. I remember a few lives, nothing grandiose. This leaves me feeling authentic about the memories. Yeah. And, the one that Brandon actually shares is very interesting. I mean, it's really detailed. And, I mean, you can say what you will, but I believe people when they have these experiences and they're speaking. You just know it's not you didn't have a dream because you have this vivid recall of it. you know Dreams don't tend to work that way. It's something that really made a mark. Let's see. Got Duck Dodgers over there. Went to a past life regression and was told I was Henry the Eighth.
Oh,
Really? Henry the Eighth? Huh.
if you don't find the reincarnation of Anne Boleyn, that could be awkward.
I didn't finish. Henry the Eighth guy rock. I got you. I got you at the pool parties. Yeah. Well, that makes more sense actually. But
Well, how do the regressions work? Do they hypnotize you and then you talk about it?
sort of, I think there are different ways to do it. Most do hypnotic regression, which is basically what you do is you get calm. There's a calming, almost an induction of a trance like state.
Mm.
And at that point, you're susceptible to mild suggestions, and it's easier for you to remember these things. It's self hypnosis is a good thing, by the way, if you ever practice that.
I didn't know that was a thing. Hmm.
We have a
How's that
Facebook
work?
user that's sharing. You mentioned getting info from children. When my youngest was like 2, he would occasionally sing lyrics from Hall of Montezuma and had never heard it before. I asked where he heard it, and he would just laugh. Possible past life coincidence? Who knows? Yeah, right. That's
Yeah.
that would make you
Was that
think,
a
though,
big
wouldn't
song
it?
back in like the 1920s?
No, that's the Marine hymn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Marine
right.
Corps hymn. Yeah, yeah. So that definitely makes you think.
Huh.
Again, where did it come from? Said sorry. That's my oldest, not my youngest. That's cool. But yes, and that's the kind of thing.
I know World War I and World War II. They sang that a lot.
Fish Belly asked, past or parallel lives? Exactly, my friend. Exactly. Teresa said, for you, Brandon, at the shop, you listen to a guided meditation. So, yeah, it's a guided meditation. Probably with a little bit of binaural beats or something to bring you into
So what happens? You get calm and you just
sync.
start talking about it.
No, no. I mean, I don't know how they do theirs, but typically what you would do. Do you want me to hypnotize you, Brandon? I mean,
It's hard to say what might come out.
I can make you a tape, and I'll make you a recording the next time I'm doing the audio, and I'll get Dave. Dave can play the singing bowls, and I'll throw some synth in there, and we'll do some right left ear hemi sync kind of stuff. And either you'll go and have your past life regression, or you'll just leave your body. It's one of the two, but the both will be really cool. So,
With my luck, I'd probably be Jack the Ripper in past life.
ah, ah, ah. Ron hypnotizes us all when he speaks. Yeah, I'm boring. That's what he just said. Um, Anybody have any other questions? Any comments? Any stories you want to share? The floors are open. And by the way, you can actually come on as long as you have a working mic. I
Or a
believe.
cell phone.
Yeah, or cell phone. I think it'll work on the phone, right? Just a good internet connection is all you need. And we'll drop you in the studio, and you can actually tell your story.
I tested on mine one day and it worked just fine.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Has anybody got to go out and actually see the planet pseudo alignment thing that has been going on?
No.
Did you get to see it?
Mm.
We had clouds over here, so I kind of missed it. I mean, they're still there, but I missed the main thing. Let's see. I have been working on a new video just to bring you up to speed on some things that hopefully will be out soon. Me and Joe have to go back to an area and map some stuff, and we're going to be investigating the incident that took
Mm.
place out there when we have gone on a hike, and he wanted to show me where he had seen the original from those who don't know the original orb or ball of light that made him actually start thinking that these things were real, because up to that point he'd never really considered it, much like Atlantis. um See what I did there? He's not here, so it's okay. um so yeah, we go out there, and What's crazy is it's cold. You know, it's a really cold day. It's pouring down the rain. It's nasty, and we're on this trail. The old, I think it's the old logging trail. I'm not sure which one it is, but we're back in the woods there, and he's just going to show me where he was out there filming with who was the Finding Bigfoot crew that time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then they saw the light and whatnot toward the end, him and the camera guy, but we finally found where it was, where the spot was. So we had taken some equipment with us. And I just wanted to take some equipment along and see if we could, you know, maybe measure any kind of like, because there's power lines there. Like, me, I'm like, well, maybe that's all this was. It's just some kind of power fluctuation, or, maybe that's what it's all about. But on the way up there, we passed this area where these trees just looked awful. They looked like, man, they were just bad. They were like leaning a certain way, these certain ways. They were all like completely dead, and
They're burnt. Or just
they
died.
weren't burnt. They were just dead. Like they looked like they had been. I don't even know.
Like
Just looked
boll
like
weevils or disease or
it was
something.
weird. And so I pulled out the tri-field and I measured, and we were getting EM levels right there. And I thought, wow, well, maybe it's maybe that's where the power's at. But he's like, no, no, the power's like way up the road. And I had never been there before, so I had no idea. We were probably a quarter mile from where those lines were. So there really wasn't any reason for those EM levels to be there. But it's pouring down the rain, and I'm like, okay, so we're trying to get out there before it gets dark.
Mhm.
So we continue on, and we finally get out there. And as we're coming back, I'm like, well, I want to stop. We found the area where the orb thing sighting was that he took place that had taken place. Nothing really odd there. There was a couple weird little anomalies. Nothing spectacular. But we decided to head back, and I'm like, well, I want to stop at that tree, and I want to document this area really good. So we go to do this, and something weird happened. And what happened was it seemed that we had walked farther than we should have been able to. And it's pouring down the rain. We're walking very slow. But according to maps, when I mapped it out in Google, on Google Earth, we had gone over, I think it was over a half a mile, something like that. But we managed to do it in about 5 minutes. Now, walking at a normal pace, like a fast pace, you could probably pull that off. But walking with your head down, barely being able to see because you're getting blinded by the rain, I don't know. I can't explain it. And until we have more on it, we can't really say one way or the other. But I have the video. Now we have to go back out, and we're going to try to recreate the walk, and see if there's any way that we can debunk this. I'm thinking we'll be able to debunk it. I don't think anything weird happened. Even in the video, I think the only thing that happened to me that day is I had like a headache, but I think I was just dehydrated. I don't think it was anything, weird or spooky. But it was interesting. Just so that's what's coming up on the plate as far as videos goes here real soon. And Dewey said something. When my little brother Timmy was 5, we were in a cemetery. He walked by a tombstone with a boy's photo on it. He said, I remember him. He drowned. He was in a boat and it turned over with him. Continued. Here we go. We looked at the death date, and it was several years before Timmy was born. I researched it, and sure enough, he drowned in a river when his father's boat capsized.
Wow.
Wow.
It's funny.
Wow.
We used to live on Roxalana Road in Dunbar,
Yeah.
and there's a big cemetery up on the hill right by the interstate. And we were up there just walking one day. And it was real nice outside. I walked past this girl's tomb or her grave that was right on a corner where two of the walk paths met each other. And like God stopped because something about it grabbed my attention, and I had this picture of this girl on it. She was about my age, but she died when she was like 17. And I just couldn't stop staring at that grave for some reason. It was driving me nuts. I went home and we found out that she was actually the best friend of one of my wife's friends, and she was hit by a car while she was walking down a road, and it
Wow.
was all over the news at the time because it was so tragic. But it was just odd that that grave grabbed my attention like that.
Well, it's not odd to me, but it's odd to some people. I mean, I will guarantee you that, like I've said it multiple times, everybody knows either they've done it or they know someone who has witnessed something like that that they can't quite put their fingers on. They don't know why
Yeah.
they felt that way, a certain feeling that you get or or you see something. Most of us just write it off. They was like, it's no big deal. It's a weird thing. It's no big deal. Oh, look what's on TV or what's on the latest, social media platform. And that's all we do. We gravitate to that. It just kind of seems like well, as far as it goes to trying to really confront these paradigm shifting things, it's best that we don't.
Hmm.
It's just a little uncomfortable. So we just said that, we decided not to. And Pat said, yeah, hypnosis doesn't work on everybody. I've never tried it, so I don't know if it would work on me or not. It absolutely works on you. Um, let's
I've
see.
always heard that you have to let it work or it won't. You have to calm your brain down enough and let it
You're
work.
going to try to recreate it, end up tripping through a portal. It's funny you say that. And this is the part I didn't share because we laughed at it at the time. But there's this theory, and Teresa, if you're still here, you chime in on this. You guys know what the fairy arches are, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now, I honestly had I don't know. But and at the time I still didn't know and I still don't know, but I never really paid much attention. I mean, I remember seeing all these little arches in the woods and whatever growing up. It's pretty common. I mean, a tree falls over and another one pins another one down, etc., right?
Mhm.
But there's this weird congruence of these things in these areas where this weird stuff happens sometimes. And it just so happened that literally just a few hundred yards from where Joe had seen his light that night, we were standing there and looked over, and there's this little tree, it's bent over in this pretty little arch, and that was right before we had our weird teleportation incident, I guess. But yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. And we also ran into one at Wineberry. We went up there with the film crew. We went up with Small Town Monsters, and we were all laughing about that too. And they're like, "Oh yeah, go through it." I'm like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah, I was going to
So
bring that up. A lot of people think when weird stuff like that happens in the woods, it's the Fae messing with you.
yeah, they do.
They
They
might be trying
absolutely
to
do.
keep you away from something or keep you from getting too close to them. Like, who really knows?
Yeah. And what you just said, I think that and we talked about this before with other intelligences, right?
Yep.
That they aren't necessarily trying to scare you away to be evil, but they may be trying to scare you away for your own good. Because we've shown that some of this energy is not good for biology. Uh, Headaches, even worse, supposedly there's been death involved in some of these UAP encounters. So, that's some pretty high stuff, high levels. Duck Dodgers. Let's assume reincarnation is a fact. How do you suppose abortion would affect that process? That's a great question,
Well,
Brandon.
see, a lot of religions have different perspectives on exactly when you obtain a soul. Like, I think the ancient Jews believed that you didn't get a soul until your head broke the surface when you were born, and then the soul enters through your head.
Huh.
I think that's how they believe it. And some other religions believe that you get a soul partway through the growth process inside the womb. But It really just depends on how you believe it, because we don't have an exact answer on it.
It just
Probably won't till
really
we die.
right, and it really just shows how little we do know,
Yeah.
about this kind of stuff, really. And but that's a great question, I think. And to answer your question, Brandon, read The Girl in Blue in Ghostly Whispers, page 7.
Hmm, okay.
And there he goes. He's going to do it right now.
It's somewhere over here.
Adam, some cultures believe age 3. Wow. Yeah. I mean, can you? The soul is an
Some people
interesting
believe you're
topic.
not a human until you're in the phone book.
Well, yeah, right. Well, the soul is an interesting concept as it is anyway. This the whole the whole notion that you can separate yourself from your body.
Yep.
Not just consciousness, but this other etheric, I guess, vessel. For lack of a better word. So that's it's very interesting if you really think about it. What does leave when you have out of body experiences? What does leave when they're doing these remote viewing
Here's a
exercises?
better question for you. You shouldn't be thinking about when the soul enters your body. When does your soul leave your body?
That's a good point. Doug Dodgers, I've heard that small grays are aborted fetuses. James, where that came from, honestly, where that came from was in it was in the 90s, and
That far back?
it was in the 90s. Yeah, it was around 90. I want to say 93, 95, somewhere around in there. Um, it came out because abduction phenomena was being it was literally everywhere. Everybody, every unsolved mysteries had it, sightings had it. The X Files. It was making the rounds, and a group of scientists came out and said, "Oh, we know how to. We're going to explain away abductions." And
Yep.
so their whole thing centered around the perception that these grays looked like fetuses. So they came up with this brilliant idea that said something about um, we we remember our births. Now it doesn't say how we saw aliens. It doesn't say how that, by the way, because you know that kind of presupposes that someone was standing around there with a mirror and letting you look back at yourself. I don't know. I don't understand it. I'll find that article for you though, because I remember running into it again not too long ago. But that's where that actually comes from. I'm pretty sure. And
It's a
it's
pretty
just,
horrible. That's a pretty
it's
horrible excuse.
terrible. It's a terrible excuse. It was a terrible excuse at the time, and it still is.
It
But
sounds like they were just trying to throw politics in the middle of it or
dude, they
something.
were trying their best just to just get rid of it, almost like it's a comet. Um, no, for real, it's hilarious how they do these things. Let's see what's Duck saying over here now. Now let's assume there are creatures or people on this planet that are masters of reincarnation. Would you suppose they would wish to control that process? Good question there too. See, that's why I like to do these. You get a lot of more perspective on these kind of things.
Yeah, it's always good to get other perspectives.
Hmm. Yeah, we should do them before we record the episode sometimes. A lot of cultures don't give you a name until you're 5 because of not being a whole person yet, as Pat said. So, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, right? Adam Hicks would have updated it to being in his contact list on his phone. Yeah. And
Hicks would have a
then
field day right now.
James, ancient Egyptians believed in a soul and spirit, both called a Ba and Ka, I believe. I can't remember the name. You might be right.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
think I
you're right.
remember
They're
reading that the
separate.
ancient Egyptians did have an
Yeah.
exact time as when you get a soul. I can't remember what it is now.
Yeah. 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 But it was a really interesting episode. So we're going to be recording this week. What's this week's topic? Is it the synchronicity,
Numerology.
numerology and stuff? Is that the one we're doing?
Yep.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing numerology and synchronicity, angel numbers, and all that crazy stuff. You know, how many of you guys have woken up at exactly 3:33, or you looked at your clock and it's 11:11 or 2:22? You know, something like that. Well, there's a lot of people who believe that that all means something. You know, it's part of some message that we're being sent. And you know, then we come into the inevitable question of, well, who's sending that message? You know, are we sending that message to ourselves from a different time? Is there another intelligence involved? So it's going to be a really cool episode. And you know, if you guys want to, you know, chime in on that, feel free as well. And we will put a couple of your best examples up while we do the actual episode. Let's see. Actually, there was a supposed 1947 paper on Roswell crash that said the occupants were surgically altered aborted fetuses that were reanimated by an unknown means that was beyond our means. I have not seen that, James. I would love to see it. And if you have a link to it, please do send that over. I will add that to the collection. Doesn't surprise me. There's been so much information and disinformation around Roswell that I just don't even, I would not even want to be in charge of looking for anything to do with that case anymore.
Okay, so I looked it up. The
Mhm.
ancient Egyptians believed the human soul was made out of 5 parts. The first part, connected to your name, was given to you upon birth. So that's how they believed it.
Okay, okay, okay. Let's see. Dewey, where's he at? There he is. My numbers are 444 and 911. There you go, buddy. My number is 1234, 1234, which apparently is a good thing. It shows progress or that things are moving along. Ike at 11,
So I wonder if, like, the exact time you were
11,
born.
11. See, what is it, bud?
I know. I think I remember reading a long time ago, and I never really got a whole lot into numerology, but some people believe the exact time that you were born has a lot to do with
Yes,
your
yes. Yeah,
soul.
there's so much to it. It's just absolutely insane. The Egyptian books I've read say the spirit and soul were balls of orange or blue, like are being seen now.
Hmm.
Think about that. And yeah, I'm with you on that, James. By the way, 100,000%. We all have neighbors who belong to a cult or who believe themselves to be masters of reincarnation, and we all know who they are, whether we want to admit it or not.
There's been plenty of those.
And then Pat, I think my number is 316 because I see it everywhere.
Does that make you stone cold? Are you really stone cold?
It could be stone cold. Linda Moultonhowe, Biology of Alien Grays was the reference. She took it down and put it behind a paywall. Of course she did, James. Of course she did.
Gotta make that dollar.
Mm,
I mean, I don't blame her. I mean,
no, no, absolutely not. I mean, that's one of the things that people don't realize. We share data amongst ourselves, but I mean, you're doing work, you're doing research, you're going out there and you're doing things. It costs money to do these things. There's no
makes you feel
reason
good
not.
about
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to pay for the gas in the tank, so to speak. I mean, I know these guys are getting a little bit more on gas in the tank, but you know what I mean. It's all the same. But yeah, so we're going to be talking a little bit about that. We're going to be playing around with some theories on transference and whatnot and so forth. So um, I mentioned it before. We had an impromptu Ovilus session. And oh, by the way, guys, I want to let you guys see this. I did something. Hang on a sec. I want to get Dewey up here first. In 1954, only 7 years after Roswell incident, the Air Force began conducting dummy drops, which involved dropping gray, human-looking dummies from high-altitude weather balloons. You know why they did that? From a distance, these test dummies looked very similar to the alien beings we see in movies today. Makes you wonder what the purpose of these tests were. Like I said, you know why they did that. Um, yeah, I mean, what the best way? I always said this years ago. The best way to hide something is literally to put it right in front of your face. If I put it right in front of your face and I make it absolutely so elaborate that you think that there is no way that that could possibly ever be true, you will, you won't, you won't think it's true. You won't think it's true, and you'll get people to, you know, divide, so to speak, and they will, you know, one side will be a believer, one side will be the unbeliever, and that works for you. So why would you change that? That's why I keep saying that I don't think we're going to get an absolute, you know, truth as far as UFOs go, because you've gotten rid of your best, your possibly best disclaimer, your best smokescreen for any kind of top secret, you know, projects that you're going to do. I mean, would you risk getting rid of that? Only if you had to.
That was one of the original things they tried to debunk Roswell with, was that they were dummies inside of a weather balloon that
That's
crashed.
right. That's right. Yep. The high altitude. That was the last time they did it, I believe. Right. And then James had said Linda Howe conjectured that Nazis were behind Roswell. She conjectures a lot. I have respect for her, but man, some of the stuff that she comes up with, I just, if it was someone that you actually knew, that would be one thing. Um, I would need to see more proof. Let's just put it that way. I saw some of the interviews she did with some of the guys from the Antarctic thing, and it's like, oh my God. I mean, if that's true, that's amazing. Now, mind you, I do believe there's something going on in Antarctica, but I also know that some of these people are very easily led. And if you want to believe hard enough, it's pretty easy to sell that story to you.
Were there
And
guys on the To the Stars show on History Channel that said that they used to work at those bases in Antarctica?
oh, I don't know. I don't remember
It
that
was
one.
one of those shows on History Channel. They
Well,
told a pretty convincing story too about.
dude, there's some incredibly convincing stories.
Yeah, they said there's like some no-fly space down there that nobody's usually allowed to fly over, and when you do, your instrument panels go nuts.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I remember that was the one, Ancient Aliens.
Was it?
Yep, I saw that one. Yep. I've got three windows open with the stream on it, and it's messing with me. I thought I saw an Asgard walk in the room. Well, it's working then. We're channeling. Let's see.
Yeah, last time Ron turned the Ovilus on, it made my camera glitch out.
It did. It really did. And James had my own thoughts with Nazi in contact with non-human intelligence that gave them knowledge, i.e., fallen angels. Um, yeah, there's people who believe that. I mean, you know, I ain't gonna say it ain't true. Who knows?
Well, I think that they might have found something because they were trying hard to find all kinds of mythology out there. They were chasing down the spear that pierced Jesus. They were
Yes,
chasing down the Holy Grail, all sorts of
the
weird
spear
occult
of
stuff.
destiny. Yeah,
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 and
you're
who
right. They were.
knows? They might have found a lead for a crashed UFO, and they found it and recovered it. Who
Yep.
knows?
We just don't know. Yeah.
They burned a lot of their documents. A
Hmm.
lot of it was destroyed in Berlin too when we blew the crap out of that.
Yep. That is
Oh,
that is
Russians did most of that.
absolutely true. Uh, you know, we were actually going to do a show on that, an episode on that. That was before Wayne got sick, and he had all these old books that he had got. He had went to multiple bookstores. Like he had some used bookstores down there. He used to get so many cool books, man. But he was researching into all that, and he was kind of like presenting it to us, like building the case for it, you know. And we had given it the go ahead, and we just never got to do that.
And he
That
must
was
have got lucky because every time I go to a thrift store or something, I look at the books. It's always like old copies of Treasure Island, old cookbooks, old Bibles. Like that's all I
They,
ever
I
saw.
think he knew the owner, and they were holding them for him, like when something really good come
Oh,
in. And you have to remember, this guy, he would barter, he would trade. I mean, it was amazing.
yeah, he had a crazy network going on.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I heard you guys talk about that a lot.
Oh yeah. So, okay. This is what happened. The other night we conducted an experiment, and it was with the Ovilus, and we did it was kind of like a talk box kind of session, right? So we turned it on and nothing happened. Now, this is, if anyone who ever watches our stuff or listens to any of the old shows when we used to do the Ovilus thing, it was immediate, because we always like, oh, that thing's listening and it just responds random words. Okay, that's cool. We turned it on and nothing happened for almost like what, 10 minutes or something.
A while, yeah.
Yeah, and then it starts talking. It only talks like, it says like two words, and then it shuts up again. I'm like, okay, well, I started to turn it off, and I'm like, let's not do that. Let's conduct an experiment with this thing. So what we did is we just let it talk. And I said, well, let's come up with, some questions tonight and see if those relate to the answers that we got Tuesday night. So, which means that tomorrow you'll actually get to see them. Oh,
Oh,
look at that.
By way of Atlantis, I have arrived.
The terrifying part of it is I can hear a strange reverb as he's cackling madly, and it's very disturbing. Where are you at? You're in your vehicle, right?
I am in my truck, man. I just got off work, and I wanted to jump in with you guys and hang out for a minute.
the way his dome light is reflecting off his head, he looks like he's got a halo going on.
He does. He does. It's obviously it's some kind of ethereal presence that is being projected there,
The
and
radiance from hanging out with the men in black too long.
yeah, probably what it is. Near field radiation exposure will do that to you. Yeah, that's another one of them unfortunate things. Well, I'm going to wait until Joe gets back in because, hey Joe, we're gonna wait on you before we launch the time travel experiment. Then
Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Did you lose me?
no, we did. We lost you. You went through a temporal rift. I
I
believe.
jumped
After a
off.
tunnel?
I appreciate you took me off the Wi-Fi and brought me onto the. Had to get back on the regular signal.
Ah, okay.
Thanks to Sky Daddy McConaughey and the mobile telecommunications, I'm able to join you guys. How's the live been going?
It's been going good. We've had the opportunity to talk about the upcoming show, and we went over the alien mothership thing. We did that. We talked a little bit about a lot about some of the past life reincarnation kind of stuff with the folks, and they volunteered a few little stories, so that was interesting.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you just moved again. Nope, you didn't. All right, we have a good signal now. Okay, great.
Yeah, we're on a good signal. I'm out on the main road.
All right, sweet. Well, now that we have an established link, I'm going to go ahead and fire up something I did for you guys today because the Ovilus thing is going to become a kind of a special from now on. So I figured, might as well make it its own, intro. So here you go.
Ovilus on.
Okay, this is the time travel edition of Let's Ask Ovilus.
That was oddly really cool.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's what I do. So what we're going to do is I have the video. I'm going to play it after we do the questions. So I have the video, that I will play after you guys ask your questions. So everybody here is here. I have like 20 people it shows that are here. I want you guys to just ask a question, and we're going to see how it stacks up and who comes the closest to getting an actual answer through time. So project your question back to Tuesday night. All right. And it was probably right about this time or so, right? A little bit later.
Oh, yeah. A little bit later, right about now.
Later. Yeah. So everybody get your questions. Any question you want to ask, type it out, hit enter. And after we have all the questions, I will play the video, and we'll see who gets closest to actually having the answer that makes more sense than anyone else. Does that make sense? Okay, here's one. Is Braxy still in Pluto? That'll work. All right, I'm going to enter that as your question. All right, so you've got your question, Spooky. So one question per member. What color's my truck? Good. Okay, great. That's 2. Oh my God. Really, Ike? What is real? Okay.
Legion.
That doesn't count. What is this one? Is Pluto enjoying its death in astronomy? Okay. No, Pat. No. You're going to have to do better than that. 3, 4. All right, so we have 5. Pat. All right, Pat, give me a better question, please. Come on, guys.
What is love?
We're trying to actually, break time here, and I can't break time with just 1, 2, 3, 4 people. Come on, we need more people to help break time. Trust me, you'll like it. That timeline is way better than the one you're on.
Maybe we can throw ourselves back into the good timeline where it was the Berenstein Bears.
Okay. All right, yeah. Okay, that works. I like that one. All right, Pat, I'll take that. Who else is here? Teresa, if you're still here, get us a question. We got to get a question. James, did you get a question in?
Why am I like this? Legion.
Duck, come on. Question.
Mothman would probably say, why is my rump so shiny?
Probably. I would go ahead and say that would be true. So anyway, I'm going to let you guys keep popping them in there, and we're going to we'll play this here when I think we have enough people, enough questions. Remember, you're trying to focus on a point in time, okay? Focus, answer your questions to the point in time. You're asking the Ovilus, but the Ovilus is not in this timeline, in the previous timeline. Does that make sense? Sure. And smash the like button, like Adam said. Everybody, smash it. I'm not even sure what this means, but all right, that's cool. I'll take that as your question. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I'm not topless, FYI. Okay. I mean, it's only you and the spirits, so I don't care. We have a question here from Sabine. Sabine, do memories of past lives come as demanded by some people, or is it considered to be triggered by other things? Yes, exactly. And we actually do go over that in some very, very, I'd say in depth. Wouldn't you say? That's good.
Oh yeah.
I think we just proved retrocognition with that. That's literally something that we touch on, like for a pretty good long time.
Almost. Joe just proved he wants a speeding ticket.
Right, he did. Well, he's probably running from the Atlanteans.
That's not good. the Lemurians are like on my tail, guys,
Yeah, probably.
but
That
not
dome
like
might
the
be fucking off
Lemurians.
his head.
Not the Lemurians from like, past Lemurians and Atlanteans that are here now.
Oh, look at that. Teresa said, well, I actually put a shirt in the wash to be washed Saturday and it never came out of the dryer. I have no idea where it is at.
Oh, that's
So
weird.
that is a mystery.
Well, my dryer likes to eat socks. Like I can't tell you how many times I've lost socks in that dryer.
So there's two things it could be. It's either you have gnomes that are stealing your clothes,
That one. It's
or
that one.
or B, it somehow got tangled up right there where the vent and everything comes together on the drum, and it sucked it in. Because I've found a few of my shirts that way, but I'm leaning on gnomes.
Yeah, I'm going with gnomes on this. That's probably gnomes.
It's the most likely answer.
Oh, yeah. It's either gnomes or there's a portal in there that opened up.
Well,
and
remember how we talked about
everything out.
Japanese spirits a few episodes back?
I do.
Yeah, still in your butthole.
Oh.
I'm sure there's a spirit that steals your clothes out of the dryer.
There's got to be. There has to be. There's got
right.
to be like a laundry thief.
Yeah.
Oh, there
Yeah.
is one that will steal clothes off the clothesline. Maybe that thing
Then it's
evolved.
just that one in the modern day. That's all it is. It's
Well,
that
that's
spirit
it.
in the modern day because
Okay,
nobody
that's
uses
it.
clotheslines anymore, so it had to adapt to survive.
Yeah,
There you
he's
go.
right.
That's what
Yeah,
happened.
that's it, Teresa. That's that one. We'll have to get a name for you.
It's
but,
a yokai. We just have to find the name.
yeah, not sure which one. Okay, I think that's enough, people. Let's run the. Does anybody else want to get in on the retrocognition experiment? If so, just post your question. I'm going to play the answers in approximately. What time is it? 9:23. At 9:30. 9:30. So get your last ones in. Well, all I'm hearing are overlapping people talking about different things, and I can't understand anyone. Yep, that's pretty much how the live goes. Sometimes it's true. Right now, we are talking about who had the last question? Teresa, who lost her shirt in the dryer, and we're pretty sure that it is now the property of a Japanese ghost. Is that correct, Joe?
A yokai.
The yokai is a ghost spirit.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I have
yokai.
a name for it. It's called Akuma no Fuku.
Okay, there it is. It's an Akuma no Fuku.
That's it. I'm leaning that one, Teresa. That's where that's where my opinion lies.
Yep. See, she also has an A-port going on there. She says she also found a roll of toilet paper in the shower today, and no one will own up to it. That's an A-port, obviously. And if you guys don't know what A-ports are, that's a real thing, by the way. That's where things either just move around in your house, they'll disappear and then reappear somewhere else. I mean, I know you guys have had that happen before. I mean, a lot of people have this happen. Sometimes you just forget you did it, but other times it can't be explained. I'll give you an example. What is it?
I blame it on the Fae.
I'll give you an example. We had an issue once where my wife lost a ring, and we literally found it in the refrigerator. No reason for it to be in the refrigerator, but it was in the refrigerator.
You know, that's funny. We used to live in this apartment that I swore was haunted, and one day we lost our Fire Stick remote, and then I just happened to get in the freezer to pack my lunch, and the remote was in the freezer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are A-ports. Now, there's
many. Ron, do you remember my A-port story with the ring?
Which one? I remember the money that fell out of the air that we got to see at Tinley. That scared the waitress.
Yeah, you did get to see that. That was a trip. That was fun. So many moons ago, I had this this ring that was given to me by a significant other at the time, and in Hebrew, it had written on it, "I am my beloved's, and my beloved's is mine." And I threw that ring into a river in Georgia. And about 2 years later, I hear this clanking and clacking around in my dryer. And I go check my dryer, and that ring is in there, and it is tarnished and rusted and in not good shape, but it was in my dryer. Yeah. And there was a lot of significance to it at the time, because like I just kind of had felt like abandoned by a lot of people and a lot of things. And then that ring kind of showed up as like a good reminder that, even though that ring was given to me by a significant other, the meaning behind what was on the ring had nothing to do with them.
Hey, devil.
And
I see you, Brandon. I see you.
so yeah, that was interesting.
Jen said, laugh out loud, them little people, they like to play tricks sometimes. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, they do. Adam said, stuff moves around all the time. What's fun is when it is an unopened bag or box of something. Yeah.
Adam Good said, I pissed off the river god.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was one of those Japanese spirits. Oh god, I can't remember what it's called now.
Oh my gosh. You got
it. Was that one, because it was the water, that one was a kappa.
Yeah, it was a kappa. He was trying to get your butthole, Joe.
Yeah. All right. I'm getting ready to hit a bad signal patch, so I might lose you guys, but I'll jump back in.
Copy that. I have an old Bell Witch book that keeps disappearing off the bookshelf only to reappear several days later in original spot on the shelf. Well, that really doesn't surprise me, Dewey.
Dewey, how far away do you live from that site?
Yeah.
I think you live in Tennessee, don't you? It can't be that far away. That's a bad juju if that's following you.
Adam said, your cross has no effect here, Brandon. So. Spooky, I threw away a creepy stuffed Alf. I can't even read this. A creepy stuffed animal as a kid. Then found it in my room after school. That right there, that would have been an issue with me.
Oh, you want to hear a story about creepy stuffed animals?
Oh, yeah, sure.
My wife had a Barney doll that would talk and stuff, and it would play constantly, so her mom got annoyed and took the batteries out of it. Well, one day when Emily was at school, it started playing by itself with no batteries in it. So she threw that thing outside.
Wow. Dewey said he was 10 miles away from Adams, by the way. Tennessee.
Oh, God. Yeah, that could. Ooh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Spooky, I've heard that cave nearby still has things going on. If you guys want to go investigate that.
We'll get Dewey on, and he can go over the whole.
Dewey is. We don't throw this word around lightly, and in fact, we normally like run from it like the plague. But when it comes to the history and the legend of the Bell Witch, Dewey is actually, in fact, quite the expert on that topic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, I think we're there. All right, it's 9:30, and as promised. All right, you guys, remember your questions. We're going to see how these answers relate to any of your questions, or if they do, or if they don't. This is just fun. This is for entertainment. Don't read anything into this. This is not a prediction or prophecy. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
With that said, here we go. Okay, so those were what we got.
I didn't hear anything.
I didn't have any sound. That was just for the words that wrote out. So it was clouded, calm, Murphy, every, leather, telepathy. So Do those relate to any of the questions that were asked? Let's go over and look. Well, Spooky said I have to go to Murphy for work soon, so there's that.
Oh.
I'm looking at all these other questions. So far, I don't see any that can correlate.
Well, Teresa want to know where her shirt is. Maybe clouded has something to do with that.
Clouded.
Maybe it can't see where her shirt is.
Right. I see no correlations whatsoever. I think we disproved retro.
Oh no! Wait! It does. It goes back and supports the Kappa theory, or not Kappa, but the yokai theory that stole Teresa's clothes. Brandon was right.
How?
Because clouded, there is a place in Japan that is the mountain is called Cloud Mountain, and it is the river is called Clouded. It's the literal translation is clouded, and it's actually where those really expensive rocks that me and you got in that one time came from. So it is supporting the yokai theory in Japan that a yokai came and stole Teresa's shirt.
Okay. Well,
we've got a reality TV show started.
I think we do. Spooky Appalachia also says, also Murphy, North Carolina is the location the Moon-Eyed People statue was found.
Oh.
James wants to know.
I think that's enough to do start a reality TV show, guys.
What we missed. A lot, James. A lot.
Here's another one.
We're in
another way that Murphy connects to Teresa.
Go
Murphy's
ahead.
Law.
Oh, wow. There you go. Murphy.
Anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
So that's 3 hits on Murphy. That's odd. Since there's also been a lot of
somebody else had a different question and what we can answer live.
Is anybody in the audience wearing leather chaps right now?
Oh, geez. Leather.
Anybody listen to Judas Priest?
That's pretty funny.
Hey, Judas Priest. Somebody listen to Judas Priest today?
So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the actual real-time Ovilus now for us.
Oh, there we go.
And you guys can have some fun in real time.
Ovilus on.
Okay, it's about to get real. Oh, would you
mess with my camera again, Demon?
Would you quit? I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to get the banner off here. There. Okay. Anyway, I got the banner down now. We're good.
Prayer.
Oh my! You did hear that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard that. That was prayer.
Funny, I just had my cross out.
Brandon's holding a cross, and the Ovilus says prayer. I mean, coincidence? I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just going to call it out as I see it. So let's put that down. Prayer. So far, prayer. And it was right after Brandon had his cross out. Anyone else care to ask the Ovilus anything? Well, Sabine said, no one the leather, but a friend did ask me about something being bad for her leather chair today. There you go. See, a little synchronicity going on right there, right?
Spooky said there's been a bunch of Bigfoot sightings in Murphy lately.
Notice how
big guy in there.
Notice how quiet it is now. It's doing that again. It's doing the quiet thing,
which is really weird.
It is weird because it usually isn't quiet. Anyway, for you guys who don't know, this is the Ovilus app. It's about digital dowsing. We're not a sponsor for digital dowsing.
Strange.
Yet.
But we could be. Strange is the next word. I didn't ask a question. Did anyone ask a question? Now it's just kind of, maybe it's just making a comment at this point. That's more of a comment,
Got
I
four
think, than a
toes.
question. Strange. I'll add it up to the board. We
Yeah,
have
let's ask
strange.
Bab's question. Where
Okay.
is DB Cooper's money?
Oh, okay. That'll work. I like that. That's good. Where's DB Cooper's money? There you go. Let's see.
You want
Let's
to
see you
talk
answer
about
that
DB
one.
Cooper? So I dated
Yeah,
a
go
girl
ahead.
in high school,
Mhm.
and her grandma told her a few years before that her grandfather was actually DB Cooper, and that
Really?
he had lived in Iowa for a while and met her, and somehow she wound up in West Virginia. I forget exactly how, but he had passed away in the 90s.
Hit him. Strange. This channel? No.
Oh, he had used the money to buy a large farm out there.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, that's amazing.
So, Mark,
Muncie.
buddy, I will shoot you my home address, and you can email me, or not email me, but you can ship him back to me, and I will get him squared away for you, brother. And I'll go ahead and upgrade the arms, and I'll throw some magnets in there so that way you never have to worry about that happening again.
He'll also cleanse it for you to make sure that there's no evil spirits on it. I think he said. Pretty sure. Also, so while the Ovilus is over there thinking about where DB Cooper hid his money, you guys who haven't seen yet,
100,
wait, what? 100?
That could be money.
That could be
100
money.
watts.
100 what now? I mean, come on.
Is that
We're getting
coordinates? What is
closer.
it? Come on.
I don't know. We're getting close. It could be coordinates. Yeah, that's it. 100. Make of that what you will. Save. Okay, I updated it. These are our words so far.
Is that latitude or longitude, Ovilus? Come on.
Right. Anyway,
Oh,
What?
Mark Muncie just connected to another word that came up on the Ovilus the other night.
what?
Remember it kept saying Robert?
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did say Robert. I forgot about that. I didn't add that one. I forgot.
Yeah, it was like Robert DT
Yeah.
or something like that.
Robert the doll. Maybe DB was living in 100 West Virginia. Maybe he died at 100. I don't know. That's weird. So anyway, we
He
are
broke
going
100 bones when he jumped
to
out of that airplane.
probably we're going to be releasing some stuff soon, and we'll have I think these will be at believe Dave's event first, if I'm not mistaken. But we're going to have our patches. These are incredible. Chris Coots over at Adulting Axolotl was kind enough to make these a reality based on a design that I gave him. And
You know, when you showed that, I thought that was an official Ancient Aliens patch, like from the show.
it's not.
That's how good that thing is.
Well, Giorgio liked it, and so there's that. But I was worried, but he liked it, so it's all good. But we're going to have these available this year. You'll be able to pick those up. This is a 4-inch, very well embroidered, stiff patch. I believe this is the iron one. Yeah, it's the iron on one. So we'll have those available, so you guys can pick those up. And again, this is
Do you have the other one there with you?
the Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I don't know where it went. It's here somewhere. I'll look for it. But we'll have this, and we'll have the Bigfoot patch. This is going to be around $20. This is a very big patch. It is available in limited numbers. So, he can only make so many at a time, which is fine by us because, I don't really want to go into the patch business. But if you guys like them, you'll be able to pick them up. Anyone who's interested, just let us know at the end of the show, and we'll get you. We can have a very, very small number that we can get rid of now. This is how we keep the show on the air. This is our way of basically raising our funds it's through our products that we make. And that way at least you get something to take home with you, and you didn't just give us money. So well, you can do that too, we don't care, but this is a lot more
Yeah, if you want to donate money, you totally can, but
stop you.
we prefer you to just buy stuff from us.
Yeah, it's a lot cooler that way. But yeah, if you want one, just get a hold of me. And no, Pabs, that is the iron-on version. Yes, they do have the iron backing. There is the creator of the actual stitch work on this
And
thing.
it'd be cool to have that design on a shirt too. Didn't you
It's
have
on
a
the
shirt
shirt.
that had like?
Yeah, it's on the shirt.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's on the shirt. I want one. I want one. Okay, Dewey, we'll get you one. If anybody else wants one, I'm putting them aside right now. So if you want one, let me know, and that way I'll put yours off to the side, and anybody else will take the rest to the shows with us. Shut up and take my money, Mark. Do you really want one?
We'll get you taken care of. We'll work it out, and we'll put one in. We'll put one in the box.
Let me find the Bigfoot ones here. Hang on a sec.
Because we got Mark. Whenever you send your thing in, you can save on the shipping, and then just send us some money for it, and I'll put one in the same box. And when you get your Mothman, you have your patch with you.
They're here somewhere. There's a whole bag of them he gave me. Oh.
Fear.
Yeah, I fear it too.
Oh,
He said fear. I don't know why he said fear.
we're definitely not afraid of money, Ovilus. Come on.
Well, sometimes we are. Oh, no, that's not them. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I'll find them when I'm not looking for them, as always.
That works.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like how I can't find that book that I just bought.
It's probably with Teresa's shirt.
I swear it was just on a table over here earlier today. Like I don't know where it went.
Yeah, I know. Huh. Well, that is weird. Oh, wait.
We can show them later.
Nope, that's not them. Well, anyway, it's cool, and it's a Bigfoot patch. It's a little bit smaller. I think 3-inch. I think it was.
Yeah, we did 3-inch on that one.
Yeah, 3-inch one. It's very cool. It's original design. I wish I had some pictures up on it, but whoa, what was that? Oh, Brandon, he just dropped out. He's back.
What just happened? Like my screen refreshed.
That was weird. All right, so 1, 2, 3. All right, 3 patches gone then. So we're closed on the patches. That's good. What we're going to do, I guess, next is what are we going to do next, Joe? Where are we supposed to be next? I don't remember.
The next actual appearance we've got is going to be at MonsterCon.
Okay.
And that's going to be the first show that you guys are going to be able to catch us at of the year for us. Otherwise, just, jump in and hang out, watch YouTube videos we're throwing up there, and hang out with us here on the lives and on the regular scheduled podcast.
Ovilus.
Let me turn the Ovilus off for a second here. Yeah, Chris just told me something. Yeah, he's right. I've got a picture of the Bigfoot one. So we need to let you guys see that. I mean, you'll like it. So while I'm doing that, does anyone have any topics that they would like to have featured for next Thursday's little group discussion here, a little group chat that we got going on?
You know what I've been thinking of? I've been thinking maybe we should do another Listener Tales episode soon.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Listener tales are wonderful. If we can get some people to send some in, we're definitely going to do it.
Or if you just want to come on the show and tell us your story.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Feel free to do that too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The show turned out great. The last one that we did.
Yeah, you don't even have to share your camera. Just share your mic and just tell us.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Yeah, you can do that. Okay, I got it. All right. Let me message it over to myself now. Actually, let me message it over to. Yeah. Hang on a sec. I'm getting it.
I'll tell you one of mine
Go ahead.
while you're digging around there. So
Please do. Yeah.
we were living in this house right before, I think it was right before I started kindergarten.
Hmm.
And one night I went to bed. I woke up the next morning and I was laying the opposite way on my bed and my PJs were on backwards.
You were abducted,
That's what I've
That's
wondered, but
weird.
like,
contacted, not abducted, but you know.
that's what I've wondered, but I have like no weird scars or anything I can't account for.
You know, that's a common. Really, that is one of the common underlying factors of early contact.
I remember waking up and I was
They
really confused.
they don't always get it right. Like
Yeah.
there's actually stories from abductees who were they they had like their significant others underwear on for no apparent
Oh man,
reason
that'd be weird.
whatsoever. Yeah, dude. No, the weirdest one I think was the
You go to a
one
track
where
show in my sleep. What happened?
no, it's just like, you know, weird stuff. And they don't get it right all the time. And that's some of the most compelling pieces of evidence are those actually, because it's and
Uh,
it also shows that they're, you know, not infallible.
you
So
know what's funny is like I was watching that Ancient Aliens episode that came out like a year or so ago, where they were talking about the commonalities between abductees, like
Mhm.
green-eyed people.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A lot of abductees are green-eyed, and I am, and they have
Well,
type O blood. I have type O negative.
yeah, well, there you
I don't
go.
know about the RH negative thing though.
Right, that's the more impressive one, I think. Okay, there it is.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep, that's the Bigfoot one. It's a 3 incher, and it's pretty cool. I mean, it's a very
Yeah,
nice. It turned out very good. Love the colors, how
I
they
like the
came out on it.
shadow effect he somehow got. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he did a great job on managing to take the art and turn it into these patches, which is just
Yeah.
blows my mind. I mean, I know how to do a lot of this stuff, but when it comes to stitching and, you know, that kind of stuff, I'm out. That's that's reserved for him.
Stitching is its own art form.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, but they're very well done, and it's very cool. So yeah, those will be I think $10 is what we're doing on those. So we got 10 on those and 20 on the these guys, these guys. Yep, those guys, the 4 inchers. So yeah, anybody wants them? Like I said, we have a limited number, so speak up and let me know, and I'll put them over in the pile. James, think about it in terms of recreation. Why does paranormal so obsessed with reproduction? Well, you know, I don't know. I mean, mostly if you're talking about the, especially the contact events or whatnot, or, you know, the abduction phenomena, uh, there's really not much pleasure that's reported with any of that, except for like a
Well,
couple of people, right? I mean,
you can also look at it from
Antonio
the occult
Villaboas.
perspective. They believe sex magic is one of the most powerful
It's
forms of
true.
magic.
That's true.
If you want to look at it from that perspective,
What?
whole rabbit hole.
Try blaming aliens for why you're late bringing home your girlfriend. See how that goes. Yeah, right, man.
Yeah, they puncture her neck. You see that bruise right there? Yeah,
Yeah, that's
that
what
was a
that
big
one is.
needle they put in her neck.
Right.
Oh,
We got Preston Dennett and Dolly Saffron on. Preston has many stores in West Virginia anyway. That would be good. Yeah. I know that we've got Ronald Murphy coming on. He'll be doing some. He'll be talking about a new book that's coming out, and it's absolutely awesome. From what I've seen of it, I've got to do the cover for it, and it's beautiful. So it's going to be really really cool, and I want to wait till he's ready to launch that before he comes on. But that'll be a really big episode that we have planned. Dewey also, like I said, is going to be coming on as well. Oh, Dewey said he'll go next Thursday, guys. So be here.
cool.
Looks like Dewey's going to be here next Thursday. So Thursday's booked. So it's going to be a nice cryptid and critters kind of day. So it'll be a really cool one. Get your questions ready for the Dooster. And we'll be especially like I said, we'll be talking about Bell Witch. We'll be talking about a lot of paranormal stuff with Dew. I mean, everything. We even talk about that puppy dude. I think probably going to talk about puppy dude a little bit. Yeah, probably. Well, folks, I think that's going to probably do us. We're pushing close to 2 hours here. I didn't even know it was that late. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. We were just having a good time. And I want to thank every single one of you guys for coming out and supporting the show like you always do. I am going to set back the patches now for Mark and for, who was it? Dewey, right? Dewey once won. Yep. Dewey, Mark, and I think Pat, if I'm reading it right. I think that's right. So everybody else, please. I mean, I don't know how to say it to you. I want to thank you guys for coming and spending your time with us every Thursday. Please continue to keep doing so. And the more people we get, the better off, obviously. But you know what? If we only get these 20 or 30 and you guys keep coming every week, we're going to be here. I don't really care. So, just what is it, Adam? You want one? I want patches. Okay, sure. All right. Well,
Yeah.
all right. So, guys,
drop the link in the Etsy store.
Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'll tell you what I'll do. All you guys are over on our page, right? Over on the talk page anyway. Just I'm going to post the pictures up over there of them. Say you want them, and I will pull those out for you guys. And that way, no one, we don't miss anyone as far as it goes. So, and I'll put the price on there for you so you know what they are and all the, all the available info that you need. PayPal, etc. So we'll make sure you get your patches, and I have them here so I can ship them out pretty much immediately. Anyway, where was I? Oh, I was thanking you guys. That's right. Yeah, thank you guys for coming over and spending your time with us. And like I said, we just keep going up and up, and the hours keep going up and up, and the comments keep going. Every time you share or comment or do anything, you push it forward, and the algorithm puts us out to more people, and that's where we want to be. And
even if they can't watch it live, they can watch the replay.
They can watch the replay, exactly. And and then you get to see really cool things, because what we do is we turn around and do even cooler stuff, and we've got some plans, and we're almost to our goal at this point. I think watch hours at this point, I think we're right around 750 to go, and that's pretty remarkable for us, because we don't have these big hours and hours long shows. All we have is we do now, but we didn't, and we just had like a few really good little clips. Most of our stuff is like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that, aside from the podcast, obviously. But you guys can go over and watch that and help boost up the numbers. I know we had one member this week, which was fantastic, who went into the YouTube and just looped all the content. Just literally played them one after the other. And I think Brandon did that too. And so that gave us.
And there and hit play all and just let it loop.
Hit play all. There you go. Hit play all and leave it in the background. Let it run, and that's how we get there. But once we do hit the magic number, we get our monetization. Once we do that, sky's the limit. We're going to keep pushing bigger and more incredible things. Speaking of more incredible things, Joe's now with us.
Yep, I'm back in the studio. Made it back home.
Wrap things up here in the end. Joe, tell these nice people what's going to be happening as far as wood booger goes, and as far as flatwoods. We've got a lot of interest at this point in a lot of these.
Oh yeah,
and everybody's going nuts.
So Flatwoods has been sold out for vendors since like 3 weeks after we opened it. We've got a lot going on with Flatwoods. We've got some great speakers coming in, some really well recognized speakers that are going to be there to show up and tell UFO stories. It will be a big UFO conference essentially.
Yeah.
Revolving with just around all the phenomena that took place there in Flatwoods, as well as just ufology as a whole.
So that's, we can say that. Stan's coming down. So
yeah, we've got Stan Gordon. I just didn't know who all I could say because we haven't put out any.
I'm going to say him right now.
Pictures yet?
Just him right now. I'm going to say no. We're so far out on it.
Because it's not till September.
Right. Stan's
but Woodbooger Jamboree is coming up on May 20th. And it's going to be a great time. Anybody who is in the central and southern West Virginia areas, highly encourage you guys to come out and hang out with us at Racine Park. We just essentially descend on John Slack Park, Racine Park, whatever you want to call it, and we take over. And we have a Bigfoot party. Last year, we had over 1,000 people come out and hang out and just have a good time. We've got people that come in, they sit and play music. We've got food. We've got amazing vendors that you all have seen at the Mothman Festival, Wild and Weird Con, any other show that you've gone on. They come out and hang out with us. Plus, it's a huge support for the local economy because the majority of the vendors for Woodbooger Jamboree are people who live in the immediate area where the event's taking place. And that greatly helps them out. It gives them a huge boost. It gives them visibility because we use the platform that we've created to put them out there and push them to the moon. And it's just a great time, family friendly. It's free to attend. You just show up and hang out and have a good time, get some good food, talk to people. We do have a few workshops that we do. They're not big formal workshops that we normally put on, but they're just like little talks where we go over and we'll hang out underneath one of the shelters by the river and we'll share stories and show track casts, share some research techniques, things like that. But mostly it's just about hanging out. It's about getting people together and having fun, whether you're into the paranormal and Bigfoot and all that stuff or not. It's just a good time and a good excuse to come together and hang out.
And there's a lot of food. So
a lot of food, good food,
a lot of food.
Track down some great food vendors for it. And the barbecue guys coming back. And we've got a shaved ice vendor that's going to be there. We've got a frozen lemonade vendor that's going to be there. They do frozen and regular lemonade.
Yeah.
And it's just a good time, man.
Call out if there's anyone out there who actually does face painting and wants to come. Let us know. That's something that we can definitely use. And again, very affordable. This is we keep this very, very affordable to vendors, by the way. And we're probably not going to sell out. It's just a massive area, and I don't see it selling out. I mean, if it does,
no, if it sells out, we have done something just obscene.
Yeah, I just don't see that happening.
The amount of space that we have there is unreal.
Yeah, it's unreal. And bring your instruments, sit under a tree and play them, have fun. Yeah, exactly. And because I'm honestly thinking I'm going to probably do that this year. So
the guys that played last year, that's what they wound up doing. We had some electrical issues, and then they wound up setting out and playing acoustic. And people came around, was listening to them, throwing money in their box. I mean, and it was great. So if you guys are musicians and you just want to come out and hang out and play and put out your case with a tip jar in front of her or something, sure, come down, hang out, get some good food and play and have a good time.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. Well, everyone, I think that's pretty much it. We have, I think we covered everything. I believe we covered literally everything tonight that I can think of that we set out to cover, and then some. Oh, geez.
Maybe we can work something out with that.
That doesn't count. You can't. No. Oh man.
James Boggs saying he's going to be at Flatwoods. We can get his autograph. Yes.
There you go. There you go.
James, didn't you say your mom knew somebody who witnessed the actual event?
I believe so.
I think it was James.
Yeah, I believe it was. Yeah.
But yeah, guys, it's such a fun time, and it doesn't cost much to vend. So if you know anybody that's new to vending and they just want to kind of get their feet wet, or if they see some of the table fees at some of these other shows and it makes them kind of wince, like, I don't know if I can afford that. I mean, if you can swing $30 or $40, depending on, or 35 bucks or $50, depending on which type of space you want, then you can come hang out and we'll get you set up.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. But everyone, really, for real, I think we have to head off at this point. It has been a blast, and this thing will go live probably within the next, or not live, but it'll go back up on YouTube within the next 10 minutes. If you didn't watch it, go back and watch it, and maybe the Ovilus thing will make more sense to you. I don't know.
I'm just happy to be here for once.
I know.
I feel like I've missed the last several. The fact that I was able to jump on for even a few minutes was great.
I feel bad, having to kick you off, but we've got to end the show.
I know, right?
But
well, guys, thanks for hanging out with us here on Wild and Weird Radio Live. Always a pleasure. You guys are phenomenal, and you are the reason that we keep doing what we're doing week in, week out. So remember, stay wild and weird, everybody. And watch your buttholes, because the captain's coming for you. Or maybe the other. We got the crowd going. We don't know. You just never know.
Never know.
Later, everybody.
Yeah.